ho mai ka ike mai luna mai e. O nā mea huna noi au, o nā mele e. E ho mai, e ho mai, e ho mai e.
Well, let's thank, a special thanks to Woods Senior Fellow Peter Vitusek, who a native Hawaiian. He's also the Clifford G. Morrison Professor in Population and Resource Studies. He's also the co-director of the First Nations Futures Program. And he delivered an Eho Mai, which is a greeting in Hawaiian, and it means, bless us with the understanding of the wisdom that lies hidden behind the words. In that spirit of aloha, I welcome all of you to this Stanford Woods Institute for the Environment 10th Anniversary Symposium. I'm Jeff Kossoff, and I've been the Perry L. McCarty Director of the Woods Institute since its beginning 10 years ago, along with my co-director, Buzz Thompson. Buzz, where are you? Please stand, Buzz. I also want to recognize at this time one other person, and she was our partner in the initiative on the environment, which ultimately gave birth to the Woods Institute, and that's Pam Matson, the Dean of the School of Earth Sciences. Thank you, Buzz and Pam. Yeah. All right, the theme for today is breaking through to global sustainability. It's a theme that was chosen carefully, very deliberately, and with apologies to Jim Morrison and the Doors. I'm thrilled that you all could join us here today to learn more about what Stanford and the Woods Institute are doing around the world to create breakthrough solutions for people and the planet. It was a short 10 years ago, in April 2004, that John Hennessy formally launched the Institute for the Environment during his annual State of the Union address to Stanford University. He concluded his remarks at that time by saying, "This is an enormous undertaking, but if we are to learn how to live on this planet in an environmentally sustainable way, if we are to leave something for our children's children's children, we must begin." I believe that the Stanford Institute for the Environment is uniquely positioned to lead the way and to make a difference in that worthwhile effort. Well, we're here today to reflect on that challenge that he set for us back in 2004. The challenge we listed then as motivation for the Institute still resonates at this time. How will we provide food, energy, water, shelter, and livelihood for all humankind while protecting the life support systems of our planet? And now, more than 10 years later, we have a chance to reflect on what we have achieved and take a long, critical examination of where we need to be to meet the challenges of the next 10 years. How well have we met this challenge that John Hennessy laid before us? What differences have we made in the world? Woods was created to harness the ingenuity and the pioneering spirit of Stanford in one central hub for collaboration by faculty from all 7 schools on campus. That means we have earth scientists, engineers, biologists, lawyers, medical experts, economists, social scientists, and many others all coming together to address the most serious challenges and threats to our environment, as well as the global sustainability challenge. What we have, in short, is a creative cauldron of innovation and transformation, working across boundaries to find solutions to our major environmental challenges. Well, how do we do this? Woods works to catalyze interdisciplinary collaboration by sponsoring solutions-oriented interdisciplinary research through our environmental ventures projects. We're working to advance environmental decisions by convening and actively partnering with experts, decision makers, on-the-ground community members across the public, private, and nonprofit sectors. As part of that work, we incubate and support a number of research centers and programs like those you'll hear about today. And for those of you who have a program, you can see a listing of those centers and programs in the insert. For example, our Center for Ocean Solutions It's a partnership between Stanford, the Monterey Bay Aquarium, and the Monterey Bay Aquarium Research Institute. And Stanford, we include both the main campus and the Hopkins Marine Station. So what have they done? Well, for example, building on intensive work in California and Washington State, they've reframed the discussion on ocean acidification by authoring a review of the science and policy around ocean acidification nationally. This publication now serves as a key resource for lawmakers, marine source managers, and affected industries in several coastal states. They've initiated an environmental eDNA project to develop a more affordable, more accurate, and less invasive approach to identify and monitor marine species in a given locale. Our Center for Food Security and the Environment, which is a partnership with the Freeman Spogli Institute, we're tackling the question of how to feed the growing human population, estimated to be close to 10 billion by the mid-century, without harming the environment. Some of the recent research has examined issues that range from climate impacts on crop yields to the environmental impacts of aquaculture. Most recently, our colleagues at the center have authored and edited two very important books which reflect the incredible complexity of our food challenge. The books are called The Evolving Sphere of Food Security and Frontiers in Food Policy, Perspectives from Sub-Saharan Africa. To do all of this, we've had to break through many barriers: institutional, disciplinary, regulatory, geographical, political. How has it been done, and what still needs to be done in the future will be the theme of the two panels that will begin momentarily. In closing, let me remind us all here today that we're not just here to reflect on the progress and deliberate about the future. Today is also very much a celebration of the achievements of the multitude of faculty, staff, and students who have worked so hard on meeting the sustainability challenge both locally and globally. We're celebrating not just a milestone, but a culture of innovation and problem solving. Finding solutions in transformative, creative ways by crossing boundaries is in the DNA of Woods and of Stanford University. I'd now like to introduce Jerry Yang for his thoughts on Woods at 10 years. As many of you know, Jerry is the Vice Chair of the Stanford Board of Trustees, the founding partner at AME Cloud Ventures, and is the co-founder and former CEO of Yahoo. Jerry and his wife, Akiko Yamazaki, are Stanford alums and very committed champions of the environment and sustainability. Akiko co-founded the Wildlife Conservation Network in 1991 and sits on the Woods Advisory Council. Jerry and Akiko have been absolutely instrumental in advancing our progress here at Woods Institute, and we are indeed very privileged to have him here today to say a few words. Please join me in welcoming Jerry Yang.
Thank you, Jeff. I do have a tie in the car, and I had a way. I could put on the tie and be late, or come without one. So it is. It was in my thoughts. I'm delighted to be here today for this milestone occasion. It's hard to believe it's been 10 years, and it's great to be on the Stanford campus. There's just so much going on, and I'm personally very much looking forward to the program ahead. As Jeff mentioned, the work of the Stanford Woods Institute for the Environment has a special importance for me and my wife, Akiko, who's a member of the Woods Advisory Council. It's been truly inspiring to see how far the Woods Institute has come since its creation, and since Akiko and I got involved as supporters of the Stanford Challenge. Many of you may recall this was a very ambitious fundraising campaign aimed at seeking solutions to intractable global problems and educating the next generation of leaders. When President Hennessy made the sustainability and the environment a major component of the initiative, it really resonated with us. We are parents of young children, and like many parents, we wanted to make the world a better place for them. That is especially true when it comes to environmental sustainability. If we don't steward the planet, it cannot support the people who live on it. As we can expect quite a few more people, as Jeff said, to be living on the planet in the coming years, this presents some big challenges. And in turn, for global sustainability, as you most know, fortunately, Stanford specializes in meeting these types of big challenges. Stanford is well known for being an innovation hub. And when the Woods Institute was created, an innovative hub was created for the environmental research by experts from every school on campus. Encouraging researchers to go outside of their discipline to work together was not such a common thing a decade ago. But a group of visionary faculty, university leaders, and trustees realized this was exactly the approach that would be needed to tackle one of the world's grand challenges. The result has been remarkable because the culture of collaboration has been transformed across all 7 schools and literally every department on campus. It's encouraging to know that some of the brightest, most enterprising minds in every field at Stanford are pooling their collective intellect, expertise, and passion to address some of these very serious threats to global sustainability. I've said before that Stanford is a place about interaction, where the best lawyers, biologists, engineers, and social scientists can meet up and exchange ideas. Together, they're generating big discoveries and breakthrough solutions, and that's what we're going to need to avert some of the really major threats all children face in the future. Climate change, drought, hunger, disease, species loss, ecosystem collapse. These problems are interconnected, and they are inseparable from the environment. The Woods Institute was created out of the awareness that these problems are too complex to be solved by any one discipline alone. Nor could they be solved in an academic vacuum without engaging experts, policymakers, and leaders who are trying to solve problems on the ground. So Woods Institute did what some might call a disruptive thing, breaking down walls to encourage uncommon dialogue between Stanford experts, their counterparts at other universities, and other authorities from the world of business, government, non-government, and philanthropy. Jeff has already mentioned how this engagement across discipline and sectors has led to some of the partnerships that we will hear about shortly. I'd just like to add that as a Stanford alum, I'm particularly glad to see 2 students on the panels today. They are here to give us some insight into the educational benefits of the Woods interdisciplinary model and unique leadership programs. They're also poised to be the environmental champions we need to break through the barriers to global sustainability. Preparing students and early career researchers to serve as leaders in their fields was a top priority for the Stanford Challenge, and it has been a key component of the Woods Institute's work over the years. Educational courses, seminars, and workshops offered by Woods have inspired and prepared hundreds of current and emerging leaders. Programs like the Rising Environmental Leaders Program and its Washington, D.C. boot camp are building skills, knowledge, and networks for young scholars. Woods is funding opportunities like the Mel Lane Student Grants Program, are empowering Stanford students to become the next generation of environmental problem solvers. They are being guided by the world-class faculty with expertise and networks to actively test and deploy discoveries in the field. I'm also glad to see among the innovative work that we will hear about today is a program in Costa Rica, where my wife Akiko grew up. The OSA and Golfito initiative works with local communities to harmonize the needs of people and environment, a great example of what Woods researchers do around the world. As Jeff mentioned briefly, perhaps one of the greatest examples of how Woods is advancing the interdisciplinary solutions is the Environmental Venture Projects, or EVP, Seed Grants program. EVP catalyzes transformative environmental and sustainable research around the world. Since it started in 2004, the program has awarded more than $7 million to interdisciplinary faculty research teams from all of 7 Stanford schools and 34 of its departments. Among other solutions, EVP has led to development of natural resources valuation software, a process for converting methane to bioplastic, and technology to recover energy from the nitrogen in wastewater. None of this would be possible without the visionary leadership and support of Ward Woods and his wife Priscilla. No one has done more to make this bold effort a success. A Stanford alum and a trustee from 1996 to 2006, and a former chair of the Stanford Management Company's board of directors, Ward has been a devoted, longtime supporter of Stanford, its sustainability research, and a range of environmental causes. He is a dedicated conservationist and environmentalist, a trustee and chairman of the executive committee of the Wildlife Conservation Society, a trustee of the Packer Foundation, and a director of the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation. I'm delighted Ward and his family could be with us today, and I would like to invite him up to say a few words. Ward?
Thank you, Jerry, very much. And I also want to thank you very much for Y2E2. I bet you guys don't know what Y2E2 is. But it's the Yang and Yamazaki building for the environment and energy. And without Jerry's building and Akiko's building, we wouldn't have a place to live. So thank you, Jerry, very much. E.O. Wilson, the noted evolutionary biologist, recently stated that we have now entered what he refers to as the new age of enlightenment, because science has now advanced to the point, he says, that it is possible for science and the humanities to work together, and that new and important developments in knowledge will result from this cooperation. I agree with Dr. Wilson, but he's 10 years late, because beginning in 2004, the Woods Institute just did exactly what he is talking about today. And before either multidisciplinary or solutions-based research had really been proven to be sustainable, the Woods Institute embarked upon both for the broad purpose of producing breakthrough environmental solutions that protect and nurture our planet to meet vital needs of people today and of generations to come. In pursuit of our mission, and to our great delight, over 10% of Stanford's faculty and research professionals have signed up to be Woods Fellows and affiliated faculty. They integrate science, both natural and social, technology, law, medicine, business, and other disciplines. All 7 schools have been participating in the Woods-sponsored research. That research and our programs have been active on every continent of the globe but Antarctica. Our budget, based upon the success of this research and important support provided by the incredibly competent Woods team, has grown from $1 million a year to well over $20 million a year. Our research has, among others, produced biodegradable building materials, a means to convert wastewater to energy, new policy solutions for drinking water in sub-Saharan Africa, a solar pump for irrigation, drinking water in West Africa, software capacity that allows us to map and quantify ecological values in assessing nature's contribution. Importantly, Woods has shown how multidisciplinary talent can be joined to produce important solutions without having to reorganize the university or requiring faculty to change its affiliations. This new framework for working across disciplines, exactly what E.O. Wilson called the new age of enlightenment, has altered and advanced the landscape of higher learning. Today, the Woods Institute is stronger and more ambitious than at any point in its career. Faculty and student participation is at an all-time high, and our research programs and centers are continuing to find solutions to the world's most pressing environmental problems. As we say in New York, what's not to be proud of? Thank you very much.